Hello everyone, welcome back to Angel's Night Talk. Today's topic is Socialism, the failed experiment. Please subscribe and remember to click the bell button so that you will receive notice when new videos posted on my channel. Thank you. As I explained in the last video, communism ideology is only a fantasy that contradicts with human nature. Now, let's go further to have a look at socialism, the failed experiment. Socialism, as a political, social, and economic philosophy, has all kinds of theories behind it. But one common element was the social ownership, similar to the communism fantasy. It started with experiments like Paris Commune, First International, and many others. Then, in the end, became a violent color revolution, only to prove socialism is the failed experiment. The beginning of socialism idea was to address the problem of inequality through redistribution of wealth to create a better society in a peaceful way. But all effort went into the dead end, because it's not only against human nature, but also against the natural law. One simple example is the Monopoly game. Every player starts with the same amount of money, but as long as there are trading activities throughout the game, in the end, there will always be one player ended up with all the money. In modern society, no one can produce everything to self-sustain. Therefore, trading is an essential part of human life. With trading activities taking place, there will always be inequality. The failed socialism experiments did not get the proper analysis from the fundamental principles, but was used as an excuse for Marxists to push through the scientific socialism, which introduced the Communist Party to brainwash people with hatred. And then the violent color revolution that killed countless innocent people only to keep the authoritarian dictators in power. Up to this point, people should know that communism is a fantasy, but socialism is the real system that controls the human society, so that the hypocrites and the dictators could live their luxury life while normal people suffer the same misery. Former Soviet Union, People's Republic of China, Cuba, Vietnam, North Korea, and Laos are the examples of socialist countries around the world. They all experienced the same tragedy when social ownership and planned economy was shaping the system policies. Many people argue that the Chinese-style socialism is a very successful one, and now China is the world's second largest economy with potential to surpass the United States to become number one. It's very important to point out that the People's Republic of China after Chairman Mao is revisionism in their own words, and is crony capitalism in real sense. All the pretentious success only happened when they adopted some basic capitalism principles, but they still claim to be a socialist country with no basic social welfare system established to cover all the citizens, and that proves it's only about the power to keep the authoritarian regime alive. Another example of failed socialism experiment is Nazi Germany. Many people might find it hard to believe, but fascism is National Socialism. Everything is controlled by the authoritarian government, and any disagreement will be silenced, so the whole system could follow the will of the dictator. Although fascism is referred to as the far right of the political spectrum, it has very similar characteristics of the far left, which is another perfect example of extremism leads to the reverse effect. In recent years, Venezuela has shown the world again how fast socialism can ruin a country. By implementing the socialist system, the richest country in Latin America has become the poorest, and people are struggling to get the basic necessity supplies in their own country. While ordinary people are suffering, the ruling dictators are getting richer. But you can still find many people voting for the socialist dictator, and that is the perfect example for the quote, "Mice die in mouse traps because they do not understand why the cheese is free." The same thing happens with socialism. No matter how wonderful socialism sounds like, it has been used by the left to trick people into violent revolution to overthrow the existing system. In the end, whoever is on top in the new system will not give up power willingly. It doesn't matter if people like capitalism or not. As long as law and order exists, there is always hope. But with socialism, the dictators live above the law, and that is a much bigger problem. Because when there is inequality before the law, how could anyone believe this system can solve the problem of inequality in human society and provide safety and security for the people? No matter how deceptive Marxism evolves, people always need to remember when an ideology is using hatred as the driving force and promoting violence, its evil nature will only lead to disaster. Because they break the law and order of the society, and when they have power, they make rules that only apply to others, so they can remain in power and live above the law for as long as they could. Wealth inequality does exist, but people can improve the situation through individual effort when they have equal opportunity. But the systematic inequality before the law created by the socialist system does not provide people with equal opportunity. Decent, hard-working people does not give up their freedom to get free stuff. And when lazy people get what they want by doing nothing, in the end, the whole society will suffer. I'm Andrew Hathaway. Thanks for watching.